So today we'll discuss with the with graphic communications or the graphic language. So language is highly developed system of communication. So language is the highly developed system of communications. Without language, we cannot transmit or cannot communicate any informations. So language plays a vital role in communications. Any single word in any language is not enough to describe the size, shape, or its relations with a physical object. So any single word or any language is not sufficient to describe size, shape, or relations with the object, with the physical object. Relation to physical. So if you want to describe a physical wants to describe a size of a particular things, it's not enough with the words that you want to describe, but needs the picture of the particular objects. If you present the particular pictures with your words, so the communications will be successful. So the graphic communications, as the name suggests, is communications using graphic elements. So graphic communications means to communicate using graphic elements. Graphic elements in picture, graph, table, pie chart, all these things are included in graphic communications, graphic elements. It is the process of creating, producing, and distributing material, incorporating words and images to convey data and concepts. So the process, so the graphic communication is the process creating and producing and distributing material. So the material with the words and image to convey data and concepts, to convey data and concept of a particular things. So the graphic communication involves the use of visual material to relate ideas such as drawing, photographs, slides, and sketches. So the graphic communication involves using visual materials. So graphic communications involves visual materials to relate ideas such as drawing, photographs, slides, etc. So through the drawing, photograph, slide, sketches, with the help of the verbal communications, the information will be complete by using this kind of things. So any medium that use a graph in conveying a message, instruction, and any idea is involved in graphical communication. So graphical communications is the medium through which a message and instruction or any idea is conveyed through graph. So it is the graphic communications. Graphic communications developed system जैसे language highly developed system communication है, लेकिन कुछ भी सिंगल वर्ड्स एक लैंग्वेज का सफिशिएंट नहीं है किसी साइज शेप इस ऑब्जेक्ट का डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए. So the graphic communication is suggest क्या करता है कि communications using graph elements. So communication था using graph elements. ग्राफ एलिमेंट्स को यूज करता है ग्राफ कम्युनिकेशन में. इट इज द प्रोसेस की ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन प्रोसेस है क्रिएटिंग, प्रोड्यूसिंग और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग. एक प्रोसेस है क्रिएट करना, प्रोड्यूस करना और डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना कुछ मटेरियल जिसमें वर्ड्स एंड इमेज दोनों हो, वर्ड्स और इमेज दोनों हो, जिसमें डाटा और कॉन्सेप्ट को क्लियर करने के लिए. ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन इन्वॉल्व्स विजुअल मटेरियल. ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन क्या है? विजुअल मटेरियल यूज करता है उसमें, जो आइडिया है उसमें रिलेट करने के लिए. इसमें भी ड्राइंग होगा, फोटोग्राफ, स्लाइड, ये सब होगा. सो व्हाट इज द ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशंस? सो द एनी मीडियम दैट यूज अ ग्राफ इन कन्वेइंग अ मैसेज किसी मैसेज को कन्वे नहीं है जहाँ पे ग्राफ यूज होता है, इंस्ट्रक्शन और एनी आइडिया जहाँ पे वो सब इन्वॉल्व होता है ग्राफिकल कम्युनिकेशन में. जैसे कुछ एडवांटेज एंड डिसएडवांटेज होता है ग्राफिकल कम्युनिकेशन का. ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन. सो नाउ लुक एट फर्स्ट द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन. सो you have to keep in your mind some advantages and some advantages as well as disadvantages of graphic communications. So graphic communications also plays a vital role in non-verbal communications. So now look here. First thing, first advantage, if the receiver is illiterate, the visual communications will be more effective to exchange information. If the receiver illiterate does not know to read any printed copy, so if the sender produce some pictures So the receiver can understand the informations by seeing these particular pictures. So they can easily understand the information that is presented visually. So it is the first advantage of the graphic communications. So now the second advantage. Everyone can explain the meaning of it very easily. So everyone can easily explain the meaning that are presented in the pictures. So it is important. It is very it is one of the advantages of graphic communications that everyone can explain by seeing that particular pictures. What is the picture and what is the picture and what is the information that each one to transmit through the pictures. So that, and now third advantage is the complex informations, data and figures can be easily presented very simply on graph, pictures and diagrams. So the informations that is very complex informations, complex data, figure that is not possible to make understand to the receiver. So if the sender presents that complex pictures, complex information, data, figures with the help of graph, pictures, diagram, that it will be very helpful for the sender to make the receiver understand about the information. So it is very important for the complex information, data and figure. Now fourth one, the visual communications is very much popular because people do not like much speech and long explanations rather than chart. So it is very much popular. Graphic communication is very much popular because it presents the communications takes place with the help of the pictures. So the receiver does not want to listen a long speech, a long explanations. So they like the pictures. Now the fifth one is the visual ads have a long-term impacts on the memory of the receiver. So visual has a quality to create an impact on the mind of the receiver. So receiver can memorize what they have seen. So picture has a long-term impact on the mind of the receiver. So all these five are the advantages of the ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन. फर्स्ट एडवांटेज क्या है, रिसीवर अगर पढ़ाई लिखाई ना हो, कुछ ना पढ़ पाए, तो ये विजुअल जो है, अगर विजुअली कुछ इम्पैक्ट उसका दिखाया जाए इन्फॉर्मेशन, तो वो इन्फॉर्मेशन एक्सचेंज करना आसान होगा. जो पिक्चर है वो इजीली बहुत सब लोग देख के समझ सकता है, एक्सप्लेन कर सकता है ये क्या है. थर्ड वन, कॉम्प्लेक्स डाटा होगा, कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन का फिगर होगा जो बता के समझाना या लिख के समझाना उतना आसान नहीं है. लेकिन अगर पिक्चर प्रेजेंटेशन किया जाए, ग्राफ, पिक्चर, ये सब डायग्राम, ये सब अगर उसमें प्रेजेंट करके दिखाया जाए तो आसान हो सकता है समझने के लिए. और जो है ये विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन बहुत पॉपुलर है. क्यों पॉपुलर है? क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग कुछ लंबा स्पीच सुनने में इतना बोर हो जाता है, एक्सप्लेनेशन सुनने में बोर हो जाता है, लेकिन पिक्चर प्रेजेंट करने में वो इंटरेस्टेड रहता है. विजुअल जो एड्स है बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म स्टे होता है रिसीवर के माइंड पे. अगर कुछ देखे तो बहुत दिन तक उसके दिमाग में याद रहता है वो. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर एडवांटेजेस ऑफ द ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशंस. नाउ look at the disadvantages of graphic communications. Visual methods of communications are more costly than those of the other methods. So visual methods of communications are more costly than those of other. So it is very costly. So to draw maps, chart is costly. That is why any large company organizations can use that technique. So it is not possible for all the organizations to use these techniques because it is costly. Number 2, have a look. Sorry, this number will be 2 and 3 and 4. So visual presentations is not sufficient. So visual presentations is not sufficient to communicate effectively and clearly, but also it can be successful used with the oral communication. So only visual presentation is not sufficient for an effective communication. So it needs oral communication as well. And third one is all the topics cannot be presented through visual communications. All the topics cannot be presented through only visual communications. For example, plan, policy, rules of an organizations cannot be produced in visually. So all these things, the policy, plan, rules, all these things cannot be presented visually. And now the last one, it is difficult to understand by some people who do not possess specialized knowledge on the subject. So if a particular person is not aware of the pictures or of the subject that is presented to him or her, it is not possible for his or her to understand the pictures. So he has to specialized, has to acquire knowledge about the subject so that he can understand the pictures. So कि visual methods communications costly है कि ये सब बनाना पड़ता है. नंबर 2 है कि विजुअल प्रेजेंटेशन सफिशिएंट नहीं है. विजुअल में किसी को कुछ पिक्चर दिखा दे मैसेज नहीं होगा. उसके साथ साथ ओरल कम्युनिकेशन की भी जरूरत है सक्सेसफुल करने के लिए. ऑल द टॉपिक प्रेजेंटेड द विजुअल कम्युनिकेशंस, बहुत सारा टॉपिक, सब टॉपिक विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन प्रेजेंटेड नहीं हो सकता विजुअल में. जैसे प्लान, पॉलिसी, रूल्स किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का है, ये सब विजुअल में प्रेजेंट नहीं किया जा सकता है. और पिक्चर जो है डिफिकल्ट होता है अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए सब के लिए. जो उस टॉपिक के ऊपर नहीं जानते उसको अगर पिक्चर दिखा दिया, कुछ चार्ट डायग्राम दिखा दिया तो वो नहीं समझ सकते क्योंकि उसको ऊपर उसका नॉलेज होना चाहिए उस टॉपिक को. सो ऑल दिस थिंग आर डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ द ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन. थैंक यू.